Hi guys, right, this video is long overdue now. It's how to make a purse net for ferreting. I put one on my channel about 2 years ago on starting the purse net, because I was going to do it in sections, but I've had loads of people say, can you do a video? So I'm going to do one from start to finish. So I'll show you what kit I've got before we get started. This isn't essential, but this is a Netmakers box. It's quite a good size box. You normally have your twine and your draw cord on the front section there. Got a nice little catch, and inside, let me tilt it for you, you have a tray. So this inner tray comes out. So in here, this is where I keep all of my rings, my boards and my needles. So I'll just show you some. So this is for my fox nets. This is for my rabbit nets. So you can see the size difference. Both good quality welded rings. This is just my standard needle I use for my purse nets. And then when it comes to fox nets and long nets, go for something a little bit more hefty. It's just so you can hold more nylon. So this is say for, yeah, it's my fox one. These are mesh boards. I've got 2 of them for my purse nets. I use them for long nets as well when I make them. Small thinner one here, which you can use for rat nets. But this board, the bigger one of the lot, is for foxes. So you can see the size difference there. And then also in the box, let's put some of this away. So once you remove the inner tray, say it's just a standard box, it just keeps all your stuff neat and tidy. I mean, they're not essential. So of course all these, what I've made up the last couple of days, I just need to put some pegs on them. All my pegs are bound together, already pre-drilled, and then right at the bottom it's just a load of my various colours of spun nylon, because that's what I use for my purse nets. And the draw cords, that's the other one, and my draw cords, various colours again, and these are 2mm draw cords. So that's the kit that I have. It's like I said, it's not essential to have a big box, or just depends on how many you're making, but perhaps for someone who's just starting out, 1 spool of spun nylon, that's what I recommend. 1 spool of draw cord, probably about 20 rings, needle, mesh board, that's all you need, good pair of scissors. But it's like I was saying, going back to this spun nylon, it's just as strong as hemp, but the best thing about this, if you are out ferreting and it's really wet or it's snowing and you forget to hang your nets up to dry, this stuff is really forgiving. If you left hemp like this in your net bag, it will rot within 48 hours. But this stuff, like I said, it's really forgiving. You could probably keep this in your net bag, sopping wet for a whole season, and it wouldn't rot. Obviously, I wouldn't recommend it, but this stuff is bulletproof. So let me get this stuff tidied up. I'll get myself set up, and we'll start making these nets. So when you start making your net, you're going to need an anchor point to obviously attach your ring. So what I use is just a bit of cord on a clip on my box, because it's quite a heavy box. There's enough weight for me to, you know, give it a little bit of stick to. but by all means, just anything that you can attach some twine and that's sturdy, that's what you need. So start off, I attach my ring to my clip and then tie off my actual cord, and I'll do 3 twists round through the loop and push it up. So effectively making a bit of a slip knot. Really pull that tight and then just cut off the excess. So it's like, I don't want to keep repeating myself, but in this video this is just how I make my nets. They've served me well for many years, and like I said, it's just the way I was shown. These are what we call a straight net. A friend of mine makes shape nets, but I think a straight net is the easiest net to make, and to be honest, like I said, they've done me proud for years. So place your ring top of your mesh board, just like this. Bring your twine over the top with your needle in your right hand. Go underneath, over the top, and through the ring. And you pull it down so it's sitting flush, just like that. Then through the ring again at the back, and you'll make a little loop, through the loop, and pull tight. And that's your first knot. And I've always said that starting a net is the hardest part. So I'll show you again. Down the mesh board, round the back, through the ring, so you can see your loop forming there. This is quite hard to film. And then round the back, through the ring for the front, and through the loop, down, round again, and you pull it tight. So that is your first, not your first knot, that's your second knot. So round the top, through the loop, pull it down level, make a loop, and pull. So what we call these knots, and then you'll go to your drops. So with these knots, I think you need at least 17 going across your board. So again, I'll show you one more time, then I'll finish it off. So over the board, just so it sits level, through the ring, and then you hold it with your thumb across your board. So you want to keep a bit of twine across your board, through the back of your ring, and then through that loop, and that's what makes the knot. So over, through the loop, through the ring, and pull. So let me just get these knots sorted and I'll show you the next step. Right, so this is all the knots that I've got on my board. As you can see, they're all lining up there. So once you've got your desired amount of knots, you just slide everything to the left of the mesh board. The nylon will slightly twist up, but that to me is the hardest part over. I think starting and finishing the net is the hardest part. So to make what we call the drops, same principle, you lay your twine on your mesh board and get yourself one of your loops you've just made. and then put your needle through your loop and bring it down till it sits on top, just like that. Place your thumb on it to keep it in place, and then with your needle go between the two and then through your loop and pull tight, and that secured it. I normally double knot my spun nylon, it can slip, but this particular spun nylon, it doesn't slip on a single knot, so I'm confident I can carry on. So again, pick another loop up, bring it down to the board, place your thumb on it, go down the side, through your loop and pull tight. So all you do is continue doing this process just like that until you get to the end. Right, so I've done a few more. I'm on the fourth drop now of the net. So it's like I was saying, you just come through the loop, pull it down, place your thumb on the board and pull tight. And you just keep repeating the process until all the loops are secure. And it's the same when you started the net. Once your loops are all knotted, just slide it all off the board. You can see the net is slowly taking shape, and then repeat. And you'll do this 21 times. That's what we do around here, and what I do, and it works well. 17 knots, as we call them, on the ring, and then 21 drops of the board. Right, so I've done all the drops of the net now. As you can see, they're going all the way up. So I'm going to show you how to put the last ring on. So you slide it off your mesh board, and I don't use my mesh board for this. Some people do, but I don't. So I thread my needle through my ring, and then I bring the needle through the first loop, pull it down so it sits on top of the ring, place my thumb on it to secure it, and then down the side, it's just like you're making your drops again. You pick up that loop and you pull tight, and that secured it on. So then you repeat it, you go through the ring, pick up the next loop, bring it down, pinch it together with your thumb, down the side, through the loop and pull tight. Now these knots, admittedly, don't look as neat as they do when you start the net. To be honest, I don't really mind if they look slightly, should we call them scruffy, because to be honest, the main aim of this net is not to look pretty, but to put rabbits in the bag, and that's exactly what it does. I mean they're not horrendous, they're just not tight little, well they are tight, but they're not tiny tight little knots. But I've never been worried about that, and if you guys have seen my ferreting videos, all of the nets from what I've made, and they seem to work. So all you do is just continue along, threading these loops round and knotting them. So when you get to your last one, and to secure it, you do the same. You come through your ring, through the loop, you pull tight. So you've pulled it off and you've got your knot. but obviously it's not secure. So what you do is double it up again. So you come through the ring, down the side, and then through the loop again. You pull it tight, just trim off the excess, and that is the last last ring on the net. So what I'm going to do now is get the cord out, and I'll show you how you put your draw cord on. So the draw cord, you can have it on your net maker's box, or just have it laying next to you, but I'll pull the load out. So I'll start from the last ring which we put on at the bottom. So I'll get my cord and I'll come up from the bottom through the ring. Spread the net out a bit, and then you find your first mesh and come through from the back and then the front, and you just keep going round all of the net, threading from the back to the front, through the back, through the front of the ring, and you have to take your time because it can buckle slightly. You don't want to miss a mesh. I mean, it's not the end of the world because you can just re-thread it. And then keep going round like that. And then when you get back round to the last ring, I'll go from the top with the draw cord, and I'll pull the net straight, and I'll cut quite a good sized tail of draw cord. Bring that down level, and then twist both of them and just put a knot in it, and that is the net complete. And then you can fold it up, ready to be pegged, and that can go in the box. So there you have it, guys. Just one of my purse nets I've made up, and I've hoped you liked it. And I apologise if my hands got in the way or you couldn't see certain bits because it was really hard to film. But there you go, one rabbit purse net made.